All right, this story leads 12 people who lost their lives in a horrific collision involving two heavy-duty trucks and a minibus taxi will this morning be laid to rest in a mass funeral at Tiyani village outside Giyani in Limpopo. KoketsoMotau brings us the latest to tell us more. All right, Koketso, a very good morning to you. I would imagine, dare I say, it's a very good morning to you, but not exactly so for the 12 families that lost their loved ones. Just take us through what's happening.
Well, good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. Indeed, we are here at Giyani village, just outside Elim. This is where the funeral service of 12 people who lost their lives is actually taking place. We understand that they lost their lives when the taxi they were traveling in, lost control or crashed into two trucks that were actually traveling along the R81 road between Mogetsi and Gasegopo. The people, who lost their lives there, they were actually traveling from a church service at Solomondale, and they were coming here at Tiyani village in Makor, just outside Elim. But unfortunately, they lost their lives. Among those, who lost their lives is a 7-year-old child, Kayanene Cyrilla, who also lost her life along with her mother. And these people, all of them, the 12, including the taxi driver, are being buried today here, and the service is currently underway. We understand that the MEC Mathye is actually directing the program, but I want to speak to the MEC of Transport and Community Safety, Mayor MEC Mathye. Thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News. Let's talk about the latest in terms of the investigation and what led to this crash.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Let me first greet the viewers at home and to send our condolences to the families and friends of all who have passed on. Yes, the investigation is still on, it's still continuing. For now, we don't have a final report, except to say we have the preliminary report that says the lorry that was, or the truck that was behind the taxi failed, these brakes failed and it squashed the taxi. That's the only report that we're having so far. So we're still waiting for RTMC to give us the final report, which will be shared by all the people of Limpopo as well as the people of the country, because they want to know what happened. So far, there's nothing that I can say so far, because we are still waiting for the report as the department. Yes.
Then let's talk about the support that the government has been providing to these people, particularly the trauma that they are going through, losing, and even the church members as well, for losing so many people at once.
As the department was arranged for all the families to go and see the social workers. The Department of Social Development is with us, and also the taxi associations, all the 2 taxi associations that were having, the Santago, the NLTA, was part of us in preparing this particular event that we are seeing behind us. So as the government also arranged for one mortuary to send our loved ones using it, because the money that RAF said they are going to give the family was not enough. We have also arranged RAF for them to do their claims after everything. So far as the government, even the food itself that is going to cater all these masses was supposed to be from themselves, but as the government will say no, they can't afford to pay to give food to all this multitude. So we've arranged everything as the government. That's why everything is going smoothly. It's because as the government, we said this is our tragedy. It's not their fault, but it is a tragedy that happened. So we're here and we'll still be here to support whoever wants support from us.
We understand that this accident actually occurred just 2 days before the transport month. What is your message to the public out there, particularly during this month?
I'm heartbroken as the MEC, because always my strategy is to make sure that each and every person who is using our roads is safe. But unfortunately, I can't be with them in their cars. People will use their cars that are unroadworthy. They don't even check whether their cars have got working brakes or whatever. They just go to the road without checking everything. But I'm saying, we can't continue having this type of a funeral where innocent people's lives are taken just like that. So we are going to strengthen, as this is October month, we are going to strengthen more strategy. Our strategy is always there to say, please do not drink and drive, do not speed, do not overtake, because this is not the only car that was hit by that truck. There was a Mahindra car that was hit by that truck. Unfortunately, or fortunate enough, it didn't just straight off the road until he went to the taxi. So that one was still investigating. Then we'll tell you what's happening. Yes.
Well, MEC, thank you so much for talking to us here on SABC, and condolences to you and the rest of the people who actually lost their lives. That is the MEC of Transport and Community Safety in Limpopo, Mayor Violet Mathye, stating clearly that the investigations are still underway to determine what really, caused that particular accident. But the preliminary investigations are revealing that the truck, one of the trucks actually, failed the brakes and crashed into that particular taxi, which was carrying, these congregants from a church service in Solomondale. They were traveling to this village when that accident occurred. But for now, let's get back to you in studio.
All right, KoketsoMotau, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll touch base with Koketso a little later on.